Hello YouTube, my name is Kainos, and today I'll be showing my Bardock Great Apes deck for the Dragon Ball Super card game. I really love this deck. It's a lot of fun to play. You are really big on your offensive and defensive capabilities, putting your targets into rest position, destroying them, barrier like hexproof from Magic. It has a whole bunch of stuff. It really reminds me of Rota Warriors from Yu-Gi-Oh! Even. Very fast-paced, very aggressive. So let's get to the nitty-gritty and see what's going on here. So we start with the leader. And the leader card here is Bardock. When he attacks a leader card, you get to draw one. And when his life is 4 or less, you get to untap 2 energy cards. So this is actually really good, this effect here. In essence, you get draw capability early game than most decks will. You know, they use Majin Boos or whatever, and as well as able to manipulate your own energy. If you know you're at 3 or 4 energy, and you're like, oh, I need to play this and this. Well, you can adjust and strategize based on getting 2 energy back, which really helps. And then we have his awakened side. He's at 15,000, and he hits the normal. When I attack, I gain, I draw a card. And then also, once per turn as an auto, when one of your Saiyans is KO'd, you get to gain 5,000. Basically, if one of your Saiyans is killed during battle, whether it's your turn or your opponent's turn, Bardock gains a bean, gains 5,000 for the remainder of the turn. So that's really good too. Alright, so with that being said, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. So first we're going to start with Geen or Jean. Not really sure how to pronounce her. If you know, please put in the comments below, or a soundbite, whatever you got. She is the the wife of Bardock. Is the wife of Bardock and the mother of Goku. We're glad to actually find out who she is, knowing the father after so many years. Well, what's really great about her is if Bardock is the leader or if Bardock is in the battle, she's actually a free card. So you don't have to pay the 2, and she's a blocker. Like I said, with his ability here, if you were to block with her and she's KO'd, then he gains 5,000 automatically, even if it's your opponent's turn. So that's really helpful there. Okay, let's put that back there. Next, we have 3 of the humanoid fascias, and then also 3 of the Great Ape fascias. I'm showing both together because because of how they work together and they're evolving. So she's a 1-drop blocker, 5,000. So she's pretty simple. But what's really great is definitely her ape form. So when you combo with her on your turn, so let's just say you attack with this card, to the leader, you pay your 1 to combo with her. Goes into the drop, and as soon as that happens, because it was during your turn, automatic evolve. Just there it is, free evolve with the combo. It's perfect. And when you do evolve with her, she gets to tap 2 of your opponent's battle cards into rest position. So that's really good too. That actually stops a lot of things, like if your opponent has a lot of blockers out, especially with revenge, like that Yajirobe, or they can combo easily. It also helps out with other things with free summoning and destructive purposes that this deck can do. So it really works together. And speaking of that, we have here 3 Torres in his humanoid form and 4 in his Great Ape form. So in essence, because if there was 2 battle cards in rest position, he would come out for free. He's basically a Cyber Dragon in that sense. And working with Fasha's ability, you tap them, bring them out for free. Easily done. And then the exact same thing happens. If you were to combo with this card on your turn, same example I gave earlier, he gets a free evolve into his Great Ape form. And when that happens, you get to destroy one of their rested position battle cards, which is really good. Again, you put them in rest, then you get to kill them. And also having blocker on both this one, and this one definitely helps too later on. Like I said, a lot of offense and a lot of defense all at once. Okay. Next we have the King of all Saiyans, 4 of the King Vegeta humanoid, and 3 of his Great Ape form here. So his humanoid form can search any Great Ape from your deck that is of cost of 5 or less, and the highest costing one you have here is a 5. So you can search for any of the Great Apes that are in the deck whatsoever. He's really great for that. If you get him early game and you get him out very early, summon him, get what ape you need, because you could have drawn your Great Ape King Vegeta, or if you need him, get him with the effect. So, and then you can just evolve him right afterwards. I will say this though, if you are going against someone using the veggie package with Kales, be wary that they will use what they can to kill King Vegeta. They just want to kill him as soon as possible. In essence, you're going to want to hardcast this. Even though it's 5, you want this on the field. They will stop at anything to make sure you can't evolve really quick. But if you get him out early, then your opponent can use the ability to destroy. Then you can evolve with this one really easy. And the evolve from one to the other only costs 3, instead of what would normally be 1 less of the hardcast, which would be 4, but it's 3 in this case. This King Vegeta also has double strike at 25,000, which is always good. It also has 2 other unique abilities, which I've mentioned earlier already, that it gives all your yellow Saiyans barrier. So once this is out, none of your Saiyans can be targeted for anything. Any card that actually says the words choose, even if it says choose all, which sounds like a global effect, it doesn't work. So Xeno Buttons works because it doesn't say choose. At first it says negate, period. Bloodlust still works against you. Crusher Ball still works against you. Mufabu still works against you, so just be wary about those cards as well. I would not normally attack with this card if I know there's nothing he can use against me, because he's too precious to lose in a fight, or too precious to be Mufabu'd especially. Like I said earlier, you're going to want to hardcast him if you can't evolve from him. Alright, next we have is perfect for any yellow deck right now, is the no openings SonGoku. Now you get the secondary effect whether it's your turn or your opponent's turn, but if it's during your turn you play this card and you combo with him, he goes to the drop and then he comes straight to the field. So that's always a good thing. And after that, whether you get him to the field or not, you then choose up to 1 of your life cards and put it into your hand. This card is what really gets the deck engine really revving up and going, because if you can self-awaken faster, that means you can use Shugesh's ability faster to get Saiyans out on the field faster, barrier out faster, etc., etc. Plus it gets another card in your hand, which is always a good thing. Pretty much once you've awakened him, the ability is not really that necessary anymore, so you might want to use it for energy or something else later on. But again, if you don't want to be critted but you want the card in your hand, this card will be a great, I'll protect and then still get the card in my hand. If I'm going to lose the card, I might as well lose it into my hand and into my drop area. Next we have is 2 of the Dash Pack Prince Vegeta Great Ape forms. The reason why I only play 2 is simply because I don't want this card until later in the game anyway. Yes, it's a search for Great Ape, but I also have to drop a card in order to keep that in my hand. And that's something that I'd rather do later on with what I have on the field. More than likely, and I can get the effect whether I play it or whether I combo with it. So again, I don't want to waste the combo if it's too early. And if I'm going to play it, I'd rather play it with March of the Great Ape, which again is also a 4-drop, and I'm going to be playing that much later anyway. But again, still a blocker, critical, and 20,000. So you can't really beat that. That's really pretty awesome either way. I run 3 of the Explosive Spirit SonGoku. Again, similar reason to the Great Ape Vegeta. I only run 3 because I want this later on when I'm playing against opponents, especially if they play a card that is of strong power level, or if they play with a high combo, whatever it is. But it costs 3 for 10,000, which is weird, but again, its abilities makes up for it. So it is a blocker, which is great, and has barrier already. So you don't need King Vegeta to protect this one, but you still want to get that out quickly as soon as possible. But at least you have barrier just in case. When he is played, however, you get to destroy one rested position card on your opponent's battle side, and that actually can stop a battle, basically. So this is a battle canceller. What does that mean? Well, like I said earlier, if, let's just say, your opponent decided to attack you with a really strong character. Lately, like one, for example, that was done to me was a 5-drop Rildo. He boosted up to, I think, over 70,000. Well, I used Shugesh to play this card, in the combo, and basically because Rildo was in rested position, it killed it, thus ending the combat. But he emptied his hand, which means it gave me the advantage to attack him afterwards. So this is definitely a great card, and again, you want to get it later. You don't want to get it in the beginning, and you rather get other cards in the beginning. So that's definitely helpful. And then the card I've been talking about quite some time so far is Shugesh. This is your super combo card. When you have 4 life or less, he gains 10,000, and you get to take 1 card from your hand that is a Saiyan of cost 3 or less and play it. So, as an example, let's just say someone was to attack me with a really strong, they see I only have like 3 or 4 cards in my hand, this plus this card here, and they're dumping their entire hand. Well, I'll play this, I play this, and then I just destroyed the card. Of course, you think, well, you just wasted 10,000 for a super combo. Yes, I did technically waste 10,000, but at the same time, I spent everything I could to save myself so I wouldn't have lost the game. In a way, it's the exact same thing. Again, with this card, it's not just the explosive you should think about. You should also think about bringing out either a Fascia or a Torre, just so you can get the Great Ape evolving done. Again, with King Vegeta, what's really cool with King Vegeta is this: you play this, bring out the King Vegeta, search in your deck for a Great Ape, and of course, if you have the energy or if it's free, you play the Great Ape as a combo. So that's already 20,000 on top. That's already helpful there. There's a lot of neat things you can do with this card when it comes to this deck. Which card should you bring out? It really all depends on the situation, but more than likely you're probably going to bring out an explosive Sun or King Vegeta just to get more cards out. And last but not least, for battle cards, we have here is 2 Trunks. Trunks Power Overseeing Time. This card is awesome, and I think pretty much every deck who doesn't care about going back into your drop area should play this card. Simply because if you're not going back in there, this, it goes into your warp. It does cost 2 to do the Overwhelm, but when you Overwhelm this card, you get to go into your warp and take any card back. More than likely, you're probably going to take back one of these, but you can take, if you have that already in hand, you might take back an explosive Spirit SonGoku. You might take back a King Vegeta, or whatever else you need. March of the Great Ape, if you were planning on playing that and you just want to play another ape, you could get back excuse me, you can get back the regular Vegeta's great ape form, or whatever you need. It really does help with that. It's 20,000 with double strike. You're going to play this card. You're going to attack with it, because since it's overwhelmed, it goes to the warp at the end of turn. What's really awesome is that means your opponent is going to block this because it's double strike. So I would dump, not everything, but if you think you can, go for it. But I would definitely push forward. Like, you can grab this card, and then when he attacks, play this card, and then play whatever you were going to play in that sense. Or again, you play this, grab an ape, and then you can play your march, and then you just keep pushing forward. It really depends on the situation, but there's so many choices you can think of based on what you're going to be dealing with. So now the heart and soul of the deck here, this is Planet Vegeta with Vegeta on it. I honestly really wished that Bandai made a card to find this field spell, because if you don't get this card in the beginning, it's going to be really hard to get apes rolling, especially with the attack and defense. Because this card is basically Rota. You search for a Saiyan that's 4 or less. Meaning you can literally search for any Saiyan in this deck, except for King Vegeta Great Ape form, because he's a 5 cost. You can get anything else because it's looking for a 4 cost or less. The other great thing about this card is that it readies any of your Great Apes. So if you attack with any of your Great Apes in this round, and this is in the battlefield, at the end of your turn, all your Great Apes, turn to active position, which is really great because you can use them as blockers. The Kid Goku, the explosive Kid Goku, he readies himself. So all your strongest attacks and really hardcore cards that have blocker on it can ready itself for you at the end of turn, especially with this card out. I really wish the Kid Vegeta that came in set 3, that was just a blank card, has no effect. Literally just said if you play this card, do what Paragus does. Cost 2, play it, drop a card from your hand to the drop area, and search for Planet Vegeta and play it from the deck. That would have been perfect, but they're not going to do that yet. We really need some card like Terraforming, and that card I just described would have been perfect, especially as a battle card. Just like with Paragus and Broly's Ring. Alright, next, moving on. So next cards that I have is 3 March of Great Apes. Now, as great as this card is, again, it's a similar reason to the Explosive Spirit and Prince Vegeta Great Ape form. I don't need to play this card until later on because it costs so much. I'll end up using his energy, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather just keep it at 3 and play it when I need it mid to late game, hopefully just to get the last few apes out to do a lot of damage to my opponent. So what I do with this card is I pay 4 and I put up to 2 apes. So you don't need to have any apes to play. You need at least 0 to 2 apes that you can play out that has energy cost of 4 or less. So you can't bring out King Vegeta, Great Ape form, but you can bring out any of the other apes, and then you draw 2 cards. So if you were to use this card to bring out the 2 Prince Vegeta Great Ape form, you draw your 2, and then if you want to, search 2 times with Vegeta because you played him. It's a really great card to just get more cards in your hand and get things rolling. And last but not least, I have here is Flying Nimbus. This card is definitely amazing. I really feel like this is the best negate card in the game right now because of its ability. You tap 1 and you negate, of course, the attack that you did. And if you drop 1 yellow card, your opponent can only battle with a battle card 1 more time. Now, what this means is that if my opponent would attack me with a leader card and I negate and I drop, then my opponent can only attack 1 more time with a battle card. However, if my opponent attacks me with a battle card and I negate and I drop the yellow card, my opponent can not only can attack me with 1 more battle card, but he can also attack me with his leader. So be wary about that when you play this card. Now, of course, you don't have to drop that second yellow card. You don't have to pay the extra cost if you know for a fact that this card, if you know for a fact that there's not enough attackers out there. This card has been a lifesaver. It is awesome to have. And again, it's a negate that only costs 1. And I promise you, no matter what you do, no matter how many cards you have in hand, keep at least one energy open so you can play this card. Even if you said to yourself, well, I could evolve my King Vegeta, or I can hold off and play this card. Hold off and play this card just in case. You never know what's going to show up. Alright, so that's pretty much the deck there. Again, like I said, it's a lot of fun. I do have a side deck that I have just in case for whatever reason. I have another, Fasha here. The fourth Torre is here. Another Prince Vegeta just in case. The extra March just in case. Depending on who I get if I do best of 3. And of course I have Bad Ring Laser and Crusher Ball. I don't really have to change any of this up, but if I need to, based on my opponent, at least I have that option. Do as you wish when it comes to that sort of thing. But that's pretty much the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. If there's anything you'd like to add or subtract or give your opinion or give your own spin, please put in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. I love good criticism. If you're gonna troll, troll funny. Don't troll like an asshole. When I say don't troll like an asshole, I mean like just don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna troll me, make me laugh. Please make me laugh. I always enjoy those kind of comments. It's always a lot of fun. Whether it's on my page or other people's pages, it's like troll's gonna troll. It's always a good fun if it's funny. And so if you like this video, don't forget to press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and press the notification for more videos. And if you didn't like this video, well, that was your choice, and you gotta live with your choices. I don't care if you like this video or not. If you didn't like, especially if you didn't like it. If you liked it, I am appreciative. But if you didn't like it, I don't care. You made your choice to watch this video, so that's on you. I know in a previous video it did say that I was gonna make a Broly deck video, but in the end I dismantled my Broly deck. I didn't like the direction it was going, and then I realized what I needed to get, and it's just too much. That I have to find the TP3 promos, more Kales and Khalifas. I didn't have any Kabbas. Yeah, it wasn't worth it for me, so I just didn't get to it. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Any comments, please put in the comment section below. Make me laugh if you wish. I'm always up for a good laugh. And as always, guys, until next video. See ya.